The following video is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and you know what that means. Action on the field and great food to eat. That's why I have partnered up with DraftKings, an official partner of the NFL, to get you close to all the action. Right now, new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, sign up using my promo code Philly500, and the crown can be yours. If you've already signed up to DraftKings like me, you can get a no-sweat bet, get a bonus bet back if your same-game parlay or same-game parlay X bet does not hit. Maximum reward limits apply. Fans of multiple teams want to bet them all? Combine multiple bets together for a shot at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry about it. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers who use the promo code Philly500 and bet $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Philly500 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Once again, I'd like to thank DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring today's video. And remember, use promo code Philly500, bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
A rematch of the Super Bowl. The number one team in the NFC, the number one team in the AFC. But nobody cares about that because the Eagles gotta make a statement. They gotta beat the Chiefs. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, kick Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Are you ready for this game? Or are you ready for this game? I know I don't have to tell you, Eagle fans out there, it is time. We are a few days away from Eagles-Chiefs, the rematch of the Super Bowl, where you not only have a rematch, you got the number one team in the AFC versus the number one team in the NFC, and I can't think of a better statement game, a better way to shut everybody up for Thanksgiving than to go out and beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. And what a battle this game is going to be. To me, this is the two best teams in the National Football League. This was my Super Bowl prediction matchup that I had going into the season, a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. It is going to be great. Cannot wait. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator and all of the internet. Have you been subscribed for a while? I just want to thank you so much for all the support and help you give me. It really means a lot. Now, when you look at this game and you look at the injury report, right? The Eagles are getting some guys back. They're also not going to have some guys that we could really use, but we're going to get some guys back. Nakobe Dean was officially placed yesterday on the IR, so he's there. Dallas Goedert is not on the IR, and it doesn't look like he's going to go on the IR because they think he might be back before 4 weeks. And, you know, with the bye week was an extra week, he got to rest. So that's good news. But Dallas Goedert will not play in this game. Limited practice yesterday was Justin Evans. He's got his 21-day window. Looks like he's got a chance to play. And then you had full participation from Grant Calcaterra, which I think is big. Cam Jurgens, which is huge. And then Bradley Roby, which is gigantic to get him back. Those guys were all full participation. They're going to play. And that's going to be big, okay? Especially when you look at this Eagles secondary and what we have gone through this year, right? It has been a mess. Now, we could talk about it being the system. We could talk about it being the defensive coordinator. But really, the biggest problem, the biggest fundamental problem on defense is you're always hurt. You always have people who are out and banged up, and you're constantly, every week, having to play new guys. You got a new coordinator in defense, right? You got a new defensive coordinator from basically week one until that Dallas Cowboys game, had to play different guys each week in the secondary. You haven't had a chance to play the same guys week to week to kind of get used to everything, right? So hopefully we can get some stability in that secondary because, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs may not have the weapons they've had through the air, that they've had in the past, but they still got Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, best quarterback in football. The best quarterback in football. I got him and then Jalen Hurts. They're my top 2 quarterbacks in football right now. So, Patrick Mahomes, he's a stud. And you know that he's going to go out and he's going to make the throws he has to. And the thing that he really does, and this is the thing the Eagles really got to prevent because he did this last year. You can't let him extend plays, right? When he goes out and he extend plays and he's able to roll out, get outside, and buy time, as soon as somebody comes open, he's going to hit him. He's going to hit him. So, last year we were slipping, we were sliding, we couldn't get to him. I know it was very frustrating for guys like Hassan Reddick, and especially Reddick. I mean, if you look at Reddick in the playoffs, right, the 49ers game, the Giants, Reddick was literally the MVP. And in that game, he could not get his footing, okay? So you know that Reddick is going to be up for this game. You know Josh Sweat's going to be up there. You know that defensive line is going to want to go out there and get to Patrick Mahomes this time because it was so frustrating last time. So I think they're really going to be up for it. And to me, the interior of this defensive line with Jalen Carter and if Jordan Davis is healthy coming off of that hamstring. Now, he's not even showing up on the injury report, so he should be good to go. But what you have to worry about with a hamstring is reoccurrence because that happens very easily with hamstrings. So as long as Jordan Davis can go out there and play at full strength, and as long as you have him and Jalen Carter out there, I think that this defensive line is in a much better situation to go up against Kansas City. The one thing you remember about the Super Bowl, and listen, I only watched the damn Super Bowl one time. I watched it live. I never watched it again. I don't think I could ever watch it again. But one of the things that stand out to me in that game that I always remember was that in the second half, Pacheco was running all over us. It was like 12 yards a carry, 12 yards a carry, 10 yards a carry, 12 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry. It was like we couldn't stop the run game. We could not stop their run game. And their run game is, doesn't get a lot of talk, but their run game is not that bad. They're effective with their run game. And the Eagles need to stop that run game. And if the Eagles do shut down Pacheco, shut down that run game, and you force Patrick Mahomes, I know that's crazy saying force Patrick Mahomes to beat you, but if you can force him to have to throw, and they're not running the ball, and they're going to have to go through the air, the big guy you have to worry about is Travis KELCE. KELCE is a problem. He's a big problem. And, I look at it much like Tyreek Hill when we played the Dolphins, right? A guy like KELCE, a guy like Mahomes, they're going to get their stats. They're going to get their yards. They're going to make their plays. They are. But what you want to do defensively is limit it. Limit their plays. Limit it. Because if you can limit it, and let's say you can force, and I hate bend, don't break. I am not a bend, don't break guy. But in certain situations, it's okay. And in my opinion, this is one of those games where when you're going up against such a great quarterback and you're going up against such a great tight end, they're going to have their yards. They're going to be in situations where they can score. If you can limit that and you can really tighten up in the red zone and force them to kick field goals, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. Now, I have a feeling this defensive line is going to dominate. I'm expecting a gigantic game from KELCE, okay? But they don't give up a lot of sacks. They have a good offensive line. They have run the ball well. And they might not have the outside weapons they had, but they still have Patrick Mahomes. And his ability to keep plays alive can kill you. And I'm sure every 2 seconds we're going to be watching. It's going to be KELCE Swift. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I don't care about her. Who cares? To me, they're traitors. Weren't they Eagle fans or fathers? Now they're Chiefs fans. Now you're a traitor.
That gives him a pass? I don't care if he's got 100 kids in the ICU with arrows in their heads.
If my daughter, let me tell you something. My daughter dated a football player, right? Let's say my daughter grew up, she started dating a football player. And I go to the games, right, to meet their parents, whatever. You think I'm going to be wearing Chief stuff? I'm going to be wearing Charger stuff, Cowboys, or whatever it is? Hell no. I'll root for the player, date my girl, whatever. But I ain't rooting for them. I'm not changing my legion. No, my allegiance is Philly. That's it. I bleed green no matter what. And every time my daughter's boyfriend goes out plays, I'll root for him unless it's the Eagles. Then I want to kick his ass. That's how I look at it. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're traitors. So the hell with them. But you go out there on defense, you get pressure on Mahomes, you don't let him extend the play, and you stop the run. I think the Eagles will be fine and set up this game. I think they'll be set up. Like I said, I think they're going to get points. I think they're going to move the ball. They're Kansas City. It's going to happen. However, if you can force them to kick field goals, and if you could take that run game away and make them more one-dimensional, I think it'll be much better. I think Roby back will help a lot. I also think BYARD, another week to get adjusted, is going to make a difference. So I think this defense is actually going to play much better, and I think the secondary is going to have their best game of the year. Now, in terms of the Eagles' offense versus their defense, listen, I read a statistic that the Chiefs in the second half of the Super Bowl blitzed the Eagles 47% of the time last year. 47%. All right? That's a lot. Are they going to come at Jalen Hurts like that? I don't know. They haven't done a lot of blitzing this year. They've relied on the front four to get sacks. I think they went into the break with like number 1 or 2 in sacks. So their front four gets pressure. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a problem. You're going to have to worry about it. But one of the things you can do against the Chiefs, because the secondary is good. They're good against the pass. Snead is good. McDuffie's good, even though he's a little small. He's good. But they're good against the pass, but you can run on the Chiefs. You can run on the Chiefs. And I think this is a game where you come out and you run it right down the throat. Run the ball. Be a run first team this game. I have no problem with it. And listen, Jalen Hurts, the injury news I didn't talk about was he's got the brace off. His knee's supposedly feeling a lot better. If you can re-add the dimension of his running game into this game, I think the Eagles are going to be in a good situation. But I think you come out and run the ball against the Chiefs. Don't be scared. They're not great against the run. I think you could wear them out. You could tire them out. It's going to be interesting to see what Spags does. Is Spags going to blitz him 47% of the time like he did last year? Or is he going to do what he's done a lot this year where he hasn't blitzed nearly as much? Which is really surprising to me that Spags doesn't blitz nearly as much. But believe me, he'll dial up the blitzes when he feels like he has to. He will do that. And I think Hurts is much better against the blitz anyways this year and much better prepared for it. Okay? So I think running the ball, I think there'll be plays to be made off the play action, and I think this has got all the makings of a DeVonta Smith big game. I think DeVonta Smith is going to have a monster game this game. I just have a feeling he's going to have a big game, and I think Swift's going to have a good game as well. As far as Dallas Goedert goes, because obviously that's the big weapon that you lost in this game that you won't have on the field. I think with Dallas Goedert, I think the thing with him is he's not going to be there, but you're going to get KELCE. He's going to be there. You're going to have Julio Jones. And I think in the passing game and passing situations, you have to try to use those guys more, And I think Julio Jones gets some more targets than we've seen in the past. And, we'll see about KELCE. Stahl, I think Stahl's a better blocker than he's a receiver. But they're going to have to find ways to spread it out and get Julio Jones more involved. I think that will be big for us. We'll see where Quez Watkins and those guys are at, too, going into this game. It would be nice if we could add another speed threat with this team. But I see this game being a very, very good game. I think it's going to be one of the games of the year. And I think it's going to be back and forth. I do. I think this game is going to come down to the last series of the game, like the Super Bowl. And I think we're going to see what we didn't see in the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be late fourth quarter. It's going to be 27-28. The Eagles are down a point, and they're going to get the ball back. I think they're going to get the ball back at their own 25, and they're going to have a chance with about minute 30, 2 minutes left in this game. And it's going to be what we should have saw in the Super Bowl. And I think Jalen Hurts goes to work. I think he goes back, boom, goes back to back, boom. Runs, moves, boom, makes another pass. DeVonta, great catch. AJ makes an amazing catch. And the Eagles are going to triculate. You see that word, triculate? I used it like I could calculate the calculations of the triculation. And they're going to go down the field. And I think it's going to come down. 3 seconds left. 53-yarder. Jake Elliott. His 53-yard attempt. It is up and it is good. Eagles win. Eagles win. And I think the Eagles win on a last-second field goal, 30-28. And I think the Eagles win by 2, 30-28. Now, the thing is this. When the Eagles win this game, it shuts everybody up. It shuts them up. That's what we need to do. Shut them up. That should be the title of this thumbnail. Shut them up. Because all the Cowboy fans in the world are going to be watching this game. All the 49er fans are going to be watching this game. All the Detroit Lion fans are going to be watching this game. And they're all going to whole Thanksgiving. Their whole Thanksgiving is going to depend on this moment. Because they all assume we're going to lose. And when we win, all that air is going to deflate out of them.
I mean, we got
Game of inches. Congratulations, Eagles.
Why would he? I understand that ain't going to the end zone.
Ah!
I know, man.
And all they could do is start thinking about Thanksgiving. And we're going to sit back and nobody can say, you're lucky, you're not that good, you guys have an easy schedule, this, that, Jalen Hurts, this, or that. Once again, the Eagles will be far superior to everybody else. Okay, for a game that really doesn't have a lot of tiebreakers and stuff like that that it'll deal with, just for a regular out-of-conference game, this is an important game. This is a statement game. This is a game you need. And that's why I think the Eagles are going to win this game, 30-28. In a high-scoring game, a killer game, and I think Hassan Reddick is going to have a monster game as things are exploding in my bathroom. And that's what I think is going to happen. So that's what I'm seeing in this game. We'll see. Should be interesting. But believe me, this is a statement game. This is more about getting revenge and proving to everybody how good you really are. And that's what the Eagles are going to do. And it's going to ruin a lot of Thanksgivings. Cannot wait. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. You know, I always say this, right? I always say this. Cowboy fans are jealous of the Eagle fans. They want to be like the Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts having an MVP season. So what do the Cowboy fans do? They try to go in a loss and try to say that their quarterback is having an MVP year. Then they beat the Giants, always have an MVP year. Why? Because they want to be like Jalen Hurts. They don't like, they're jealous that we talk about Jalen Hurts and not Dak Prescott. A.J. Brown playing like an MVP out there, killing it, right? Everybody knows he's having an MVP year for a wide receiver. What do Cowboy fans do? They start crying, they get all jealous, and then, oh, CeeDee Lamb has a couple good games. Oh, look, CeeDee Lamb, he's MVP, he's the #1 receiver, because they're jealous of A.J. Brown. Now, the Eagles have Jordan Davis, totally underrated player, Pro Bowl type player, and you got Mark Holmes doing videos. Look at this title of this video. Look at the title of this video. Cowboys signed their own Jordan Davis to practice squad. They signed their own Jordan Davis. You see how these people think? They think of it, everything in terms of what we have. They're jealous. They're jealous. He's jealous. He wants Jordan Davis so much. He thinks they signed their own Jordan Davis. Cowboy fans are pathetic. Denzel Washington out.